Welcome to Wolfway TV. Thank you for stopping by my channel to watch my videos. If you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button so that you'll be alerted whenever I drop a new video. But if you've been coming here and you have never subscribed, please subscribe. All you have to do is just to click on subscribe when you watch my videos on YouTube. If you haven't signed in, it will prompt you to sign in, but you sign in with your Gmail account login information, your Gmail email address with your password, and then you can sign in on YouTube. Then you click on subscribe, you turn on notification, and you'll be officially part of the Wolfway TV family. Thank you so much for doing this. Hello guys, I'm going to talk about why you shouldn't omit your marital status. Alright guys, if you are married, you should never select unmarried. If you are married, never select unmarried. Alright, and if you did the DV lottery process and you selected that you are unmarried, knowing well that you are married, you are disqualified. Even though you have been selected, if you go through all the way to the embassy, to the interview, they will disqualify you should they find out that you were married. Alright? And you'll be asking, how would they find out that I am married? Well, this is America, all right? America knows everything, unless they don't want to find out. One way that they could find out is that during your DS-260 application, they ask for all of your social media handles for all of the social media platforms, your email address. They can use that information to do their own research. There are so many of you guys that even me with limited skills. Remember, these people at the embassy, they have been trained like FBI kind of training. They've been trained to do this type of searches, to do, learn people's body language and all that. They're advanced. That's their job. So you give them your social media handle names and stuff. If you don't give it to them, then they know that you're hiding. And if you're hiding something, they're not going to do this hide and seek thing with you. There's so many people that they have to interview. If you're going to make their job difficult, they're going to deny you so that they can move on to the next person. All right? So if you're asking, how would they know your social media account? Because most people who are married is there. If you don't talk about your marriage on your social media platform, that too could be a question, The second way that they can find out is that they can send field inspectors. They have field officers, local people from your country. So if you're from Kenya, they have employed local Kenyans who will go around and do the research. They'll go and do the investigation. Come to your workplace, come to your house address. That's why some of this information, they ask for your phone number and all of that. They ask for all this information and they can use that. They have your phone number. They can request a lot of information through your phone number. All right? So I've given you at least two options that I know that they can use to find out if you were married or not. All right? The third way is for them to go through the marriage registry in your country. They can just make a phone call to the marriage registry in your district, in your country, whether it is the capital, and go through the files to see if you're married. Your name will pop up there. All right? So that's the third place that they can find out. Okay? If you have children, well, if somebody were to ask your child who their dad is, they're going to mention their dad if they know their dad. So they have so many ways of finding out. I just gave you these ones, okay? So they can find out if you are married or not. So then you're going to ask, so what should I do? All right? So guys, I'm going to give you a couple of options to see, and then I will tell you the consequences, and you make that decision yourself. So if you were married, but when during the DV lottery process, you stated that you are unmarried, then the first choice for you is to either sit out the process, like stop, don't continue. Stop, let it go to waste, and try again and see if you'll be selected again. All right? If you made the mistake, that mistake that you made makes you ineligible. You don't qualify because of that mistake, that lie, whether it was a mistake or that was intentional or unintentional. That thing makes you ineligible for it. All right? So if that's the case, then what you can do is sit out. Don't go and make more trouble for yourself, because this thing has not got to the embassy yet. Okay? You can sit out and try again another year. What the benefit of that is that you didn't go all the way to the embassy level to have your name in their records that this is what you said. The downside of that is that when you sit out, maybe that was your only opportunity to win the green card lotto. But now, maybe you may have to try for 5 years or before you will get lucky again. So the pros and cons. So I've told you one pro and I've given you one con. All right. So one advantage and one disadvantage. Okay. If the next option is to go through the process, hide your marriage, and hopefully keep your fingers crossed that they don't find out. All right? Okay? So, if they find out, you're going to be put on a list, and you'll be denied based on misrepresentation. You'll be disqualified, and misrepresentation will be on your file. Someday, when you apply for an American visa, they will see that you misrepresented yourself. And misrepresentation is something that is difficult to dissociate yourself from or distance yourself from the moment that thing gets tagged on you. It's almost like somebody has tagged you as a liar. It's difficult to change your image or to clean up your image. And that's the same thing goes for the U.S. Embassy. So if you go through and they find out that you lied, then that is a tag that they're going to give you, okay? If they don't find out, then you could get your visa and come to America, okay? The other downside of you, when it goes through and you come to America, one of the downsides is that when you come to America and then now you want to go and bring your husband, who you said didn't exist, then now you have to remember the lie that you told. Most of the times when you are lying, you don't have good memory. Sometimes you forget the lie that you told before. Because when you are applying for your husband again or your wife again, because you have forgotten about what you said on the green card lottery process, you think the embassy has forgotten. No, the embassy has the record sitting there waiting for you. When your name shows up again, they take all of your files and go through. That's why when you're scheduled for interview, it takes days, about a month or even more before you go for your actual interview. It gives them time for them to go through your files there. All right? So if someday you want to apply for your husband and then you say, oh, this is my husband, because when you apply for your spouse, you need to submit evidence to show that that marriage is real. So by this time, you have forgotten about the green card lottery process and all the stuff that you said about you not being married. But now, when you apply for your husband or your wife to come, you are bringing evidence that were in existence before even the lotto process. That is where the embassy will tell you that. So you lied to us to get the visa. So you were not even qualified to get that visa, but you got it. I don't know what will happen, whether they can use that to pull your visa and deport you, or they can make it difficult, extremely difficult for you to bring your spouse or your children. So it's not just your spouse. Any family member, any of your nuclear family member that you don't list on the application, and if later you want to bring them, if those people were in existence when you were submitting your DV lottery entry, it's going to be difficult for you to, get them to America. So, giving you the advantages and disadvantages and all of the options that I can think of. So, it's up to you to make that decision. I don't want to be the one to make the decision for you, because, as I said, if for some of the decisions, it could mean that you may not get selected ever again, or you may get selected maybe 10 years later, 5 years later. It might be too long for you. And the other option is that when you come here and then you want to go and bring your wife or your husband or your children, it may be impossible to do that because of this lie that you did. So I'll leave it up to you to make that decision for yourself. But I've given you both sides, all right? But I'm going to end my video here. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching my video to this point. I love you guys so much for your support, your encouragement, and please keep supporting my channel. Share my videos with your friends and families so that they can learn about the green card lottery process, so they don't make some of these expensive mistakes. All you have to do, if you did the right thing, then you don't have to even worry about all of this complicated part. You don't have to worry about these problems. But it's because sometimes people don't know. People were not aware of the consequence. So guys, if you want to know more about the green card lottery process, please join my Facebook groups: Green Card Lottery Africa, Green Card Lottery Ghana, Green Card Lottery Winners. We welcome anybody, no matter where you come from, whether you're from Africa or you're not. We welcome you. You can also join Moving to America /Wofoi TV for all other immigration questions. Please follow my Facebook page and like my Facebook page. That is Wofoi TV. That is the official Facebook page. You follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Thank you so much. Please subscribe. I love you, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye.